So may I introduce Dr. Madhusankar sir. Dr. Madhusankar is a senior consultant, cardiac surgeon, heart transplant surgeon. He is a senior consultant working in the Frontier Lifeline, Dr. K.M. Indian Heart Foundation. He is from Tinnevelly Medical College, and he is a senior to Dr. Shankar Narayanan sir. And he has a various experience in transplant related, all the complications and other things. He has a vast experience. He worked under Professor Dr. K.M. Cherian sir. May I request Dr. Madhusankar sir, please take over and start the first session. This topic is
show a few slides on heart transplantation, in our experience with heart transplantation, and what are the results of heart transplantation. I am a fan of Indian Medical Association. One of the reasons is there is no other way the practicing medical practitioners will be coming to know whether heart transplant is happening in this state or lung transplant is happening in this state. I was keep on attending this Indian Medical Association meetings. Suddenly somebody came and presented surgical experience with surgery for epilepsy. Till that time I was never aware that surgery for epilepsy is happening in Chennai. So this IME meetings, even though it is nowadays very difficult to see doctors attending IME meetings and organizing the meeting, arranging the whole thing, it takes puts a lot of pressure on the secretary, president to arrange the hotel, to arrange the talk, for what? But then, if you look at the benefits, in the long run, all of us get to know some additional input on the recent happenings or the latest happenings or the recent developments in the modern medicine. With this, let me go to the thing. Severe left ventricular dysfunction and recurrent hospitalization. This gentleman is staying in our hospital, 45 years old, had an MI, had a bypass surgery in another hospital 2 months back. Now he is 20% ejection fraction, unable to move, very much dilated heart, no other go except that he requires a heart transplant. Very young, 45 years. Now, how to do heart transplant? Heart transplant, unlike other surgical procedures, is a major team effort. It requires a lot of personnel, lot of scientific input, and lot of legal input, and lot of help from major hospitals. We need a qualified cardiothoracic surgeon, physician, physiotherapist, nephrologist, pathologist. On the other side, we need cardiologists, pulmonologists, trained nurses, social worker, microbiologist, and a non-medical coordinator. So this is one of the reasons why people are not taking heart transplant. It requires a lot of scientific input and lot of organizing input. Any cardiothoracic surgeon who works in a major institute with the minimum 500 to 1000 cases a year will be able to do heart transplant, because technically it is not a major complicated thing. Only thing is organizing the whole thing and then technical know-how. If he has got trained somewhere, then you can do heart transplant. We need a cardiologist who is interested in the management of heart failure patients. Why? Because the heart failure patients, if you get 100 patients, not all of them require heart transplant. There are a few who are young, who are not suffering from other major illnesses, only can undergo heart transplant. The other patients, you can't just throw away saying that we are not fit for transplant, so go away somewhere. So looking after those patients who are coming with heart failure, not eligible for heart transplant continuously, is a major part of this heart failure clinic. You cannot say you are not fit for a heart transplant, so don't come to us. They will also come to you repeatedly with recurrent episodes of failure, with recurrent hospitalization, and they need support. They need support in the form of optimization of medical therapy, optimization of fluid intake, and also pulse therapy, and regular follow-up with prevention of infection like vaccination with the flu vaccine, etc. We need strong support from nephrologists, preferably the nephrologist who is getting involved in renal transplant, because they are the ones who are well versed with these perioperative nephrological problems as well as the immunosuppressive therapy. Because the number of patients undergoing kidney transplant is more, you will be seeing a lot of them with immunosuppressive therapy. and these patients may also require dialysis. So better to get involved with a nephrologist. We need the help of pathologists because we may have to do endomyocardial biopsy and diagnose these rejection problems. In good microbiology support with culture and sensitivity studies. These patients are on lifelong immunosuppressive therapy, so they may end up with recurrent respiratory problems and other infection problems. So it's better to look in a microbiologist. Now, we performed our first heart transplant in 1995 in Madras Medical Mission on a 45-year-old lady. This is a picture when she completed first year in 1996. It was celebrated, and still now we have done 49 transplants. This include 44 heart transplants, 3 heart and lung transplants, 1 single lung transplant, and 1 double lung transplant. This includes 35 males and 9 females. The age range from 2 years to 56 years, and out of them 28 are alive. This means a perioperative survival of 66%. What does that mean? Left alone, all these 44 patients would have died within 1 year. Because you gave them a new heart, 28 of them are alive. So he underwent a successful heart transplant. So how long these patients should be on immunosuppressive therapy? That is lifelong. And lifelong, they need infection surveillance. They require 3 drugs, namely cyclosporine or tacrolimus, and mycophenolate mofetil and prednisolone in a small dose. This apart, they will be getting regular surveillance drugs against bacterial infection, viral infection, parasitic infection, and they will be on vitamins and lipid reducing agents. It's a very complex slide supporting, describing the mechanisms by which these immunological drugs act upon the body, and when they act upon the body, they also reduce the systemic immunity, make these patients more vulnerable for infection. We routinely use a new drug known as basiliximab on the day of surgery and on 4th day. The advantage of this drug is on the day of surgery you give 1 dose, and on 4th day you give another dose. Lot of publicity and lot of awareness. This is a gentleman 6 years after transplant. He is working in a railway cooperative store. He underwent heart transplant in the year 2009 and still now doing well. And this is another person who donated his heart in the year 2009. It was my colleague, cardiothoracic surgeon from Madurai. And he had an accident, fell down, and he is a cardiothoracic surgeon working in Madurai, Padamalayan Hospital. He donated his heart. We brought from the heart from Madurai by Paramount Airlines, and it was implanted on a young boy from Pune. He still now is doing well. His name is Sanjay. And our youngest heart transplant is 1 year 10 months with non-impaction of the left ventricle. Did very well. Even more difficult to get a child donor. We got a donor from Bangalore. This girl underwent the transplant in 2009, doing very well. She lives in Bangalore. This is recently we got a news coverage on her 5th year survival. The 1 year survival of a heart transplant is 90%, and the 5 year survival is 75%. Now this month we did another heart transplant. Again the donor is from Madurai. The patient is doing well, still in the hospital, getting discharged today, tomorrow, like that. Now I want to present you the patient who has undergone heart transplant, Mr. Mani, in the year 2009. I'll call you and introduce him to you. He's here. Sangan Narayanan, Dr. Jayaraman, and our secretary.
May I request our founder chairman, that is President of Sangan Narayanan, please come to the stage and give a small amount of as a token of appreciation to Mr. Mani, sir. I wish you a very, very long life, sir. Wish you all the best.
The latest theory.
Center stage is banner కొంచెం కొంచెం సెంటర్ ఓకే photo. Camera பாருங்கம்மா.
Sir,
The centers, so we consider as Chennai is the capital, medical capital of India. So with that facility of heart transplantation, Merson sir clearly explained about the indications and other how much cost of therapy involved, or the teamwork. There is a team involved in this heart transplant team, and also very nicely explained all the details in details. So this is very helpful to us to refer the patients to Merson sir for more and more cases. In advanced heart failure patients, these procedures are very benefit in to live patient very long, and so we have wonderful medications, immunosuppressants, and before that for cardiac failure also we have so much of drugs available to prevent further cardiac worsenings and other things. I thank you very much, Dr. Merson sir, for this wonderful presentation. I thank you. Stay low. Next we will move on to the second topic. May I request Dr. Siva Prakash. He is a medical endocrinologist. He's an assistant professor working in Madras Medical College and IOG, the Institute of Obstetrics and Gynecology. And sir is going to present endocrine pitfalls. You can put here. Endocrinology. So, endocrinology, you know very well the common problem we come across in general practice is the hypothyroidism and diabetes mellitus and various problems we are facing. So, Dr. Silvras is going to